Welcome back to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. It's Kyra. Hey, it's great to be back for our weekly podcast episode here on the Moon Manifesting Podcast. Hope you're all going really well this week. So today I'm going to be sharing pretty much like the mistakes I made when I first started out with my witchy business, Herbal Moon Goddess, because I see other witchy business owners making these same mistakes, and I would love it to help you make more money and make more sales, because chances are if you are a witchy business owner or your business is spiritual in some sort of way, you're here because your soul has led you here. You're running your business because you feel like it's part of your soul's purpose. But the thing is, sometimes when we're guided by something guided to something by our souls, the money doesn't always follow along easily. Sometimes we need to make a few tweaks or adjustments to get it right. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing my tips for helping you make more sales in your witchy business. So if you are a witchy business owner, perhaps you're a candle maker, maybe you make crystal jewelry, maybe you're selling essential oils, or there could be other things that you're doing. Maybe you're a tarot reader or an astrologer or a Reiki healer. If you fit into like any sort of those categories, then you will love the Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind. It's a 6-month cosmic group coaching program where we align with business astrology and tarot, as well as practical business strategy so that you can make more money doing what you were born to do. It's very aligned with your natal chart, and I am there every step of the way to help you decode exactly what your natal chart means for you. And you also get like my practical business advice for growing your social media, email marketing, creating your own website, and everything else that you need to know so that you can make more money. So don't delay. Places are limited and the clock is ticking. There's only a few days left to sign up for the Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind. So pause this episode right now. That's right, pause it. Click the show notes and go and enroll if this is calling to you. There is an affordable monthly payment plan available as well to help with your cash flow. So yeah, click the link and I will see you in the mastermind. So back to your regular programming. So yeah, let's chat about those common mistakes for witchy business owners. So yeah, let's rewind a bit. There's like a bit of a theme going on in my podcast, I've noticed, where it's like, let's go back a few years in my life, and this is what I did. So when was it? I think it was like 2019. So yeah, 3 years ago, I followed my soul's calling, and at the time I was a herbalist and doing like women's hormone health and fertility, and yeah, like doing all that sort of stuff as a herbalist. So yeah, working with women to balance the hormones and all those sorts of things. And I felt like this void. I felt something was missing. And that missing link for me was spirituality and like the energetics and like that sort of thing. Like I was very focused on like the scientific part of working with herbs. But there was like this unknown mystery, this unknown sort of thing that was calling to me. And anyway, I started doing like full moon circles and that sort of thing. Which, and then naturally, somehow I started selling crystals and tarot decks and books to do with like witchcraft and tarot and all sorts of different things like that, smudge sticks or herbal smoke sticks. And so yeah, I was selling all this stuff. I went to markets and I had my online store. But the thing is, and like, it's not that hard to do. Like there are so many people who are, doing the exact same thing, like selling their spiritual goods or selling their witchy goods. But the thing that I was really missing when I was running like the retail side of my business was that I wasn't clear on this one vital thing. And I think this is the one thing that can really make a powerful shift in your business. Okay, so listen up. because this is the exact mistake I am seeing a lot of business owners make. And that is that we're not clear on your ideal client. So who is your ideal client? Okay, so the thing is, what makes people buy a lot of the time is that your product, your service, your offering will solve a problem. Some people buy things because, they look pretty or whatever. But, for it to be like really powerful, like an instant yes, it's about solving a problem. And so finding your ideal client, so thinking about the sort of person who, will buy stuff from you, who really needs your products and, who your products will really help. Once you can understand who your ideal client is and that problem that they have that your product or your services can solve, then that's when you can really hit that, that thing that makes more sales happen in your business. So yeah, it's really going to come down to solving a problem. So if there's, something that you're trying to sell and it's just not selling, maybe it's because it's not solving a problem, or maybe you're not like sharing with others how it can solve a problem. As I've been preparing for my free Soul Line Sales Masterclass, I did some research and I was looking at some statistics, and it was all about why entrepreneurs fail in their first year of business and that sort of thing. And a really interesting statistic came up, and it was something like 42% of businesses fail because there's no market need. Okay, so let that sink in for a bit, okay? One of the most common reasons why businesses fail is because there's no market need. So it's either because what you're offering, it's not solving that problem, or it's to do with the marketing, like how you're promoting that thing, how you're sharing about it, your marketing. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, there's those two ways to look at it, whether it's the actual product or thing itself, or maybe it's just the marketing. Okay, so there can be a few different ways that you can look at that to help you understand why you're not making more sales in your witchy business. Okay, so I want that to be your key takeaway from this episode. It's got to solve a problem, okay? Figure out what problem it is that your product or service is offering and write that on your sales page. Use that in your Instagram posts or your stories or your podcast, or, even as you're talking to people, about your work. I make candles that help witches cast powerful spells. That could be helping solve a problem if that's, what your product does. There are baby witches who have trouble making powerful spells because they don't know what they're doing. So, maybe your product solves that problem. So figuring out who your ideal client is and what problem they have and how your offering solves their problem. Alrighty, so I've got a few other tips for you, three other tips. So, okay, my next tip is pricing confidently. Okay, so it may kind of seem kind of counterintuitive if you want to make more sales, and I'm kind of raise your prices. But the truth is, when you see someone and they're selling something and it's kind of cheaper than what you would expect, it can kind of make you feel a bit wary about it, right? I've seen tarot readers and, they offer readings for $5 or $10, which, it's great. If you've done that, or if you are doing it, it's okay. Don't stress. But, you can absolutely charge way more than that, because you should be valuing your time. Because those tarot readings, they're not just going to take 1 minute. Often they're taking, a chunk of your valuable time. So pricing confidently is really going to help, it's going to help you make more sales because you're feeling more confident about what you're offering. You're feeling confident about charging what you're worth. And confidence is the thing that sells. It comes back to like your energy and your vibes. And so you feel like, oh, you know, I really suck at tarot reading, or I really suck at making these things, or, you know, whatever it is. And so your pricing is like really low, then it kind of gives off this energy, and, you know, it can make people feel a bit skeptical about it. Whereas if you're pricing high because you're so confident that your product or your service is like, you know, really worth that price, and, you know, you're really confident in yourself and your ability to deliver that, then that confidence really speaks, and, you know, you're going to make more sales, and you're going to get more with each sale because, you know, you've priced your things higher. So having that money mindset and pricing confidently absolutely helps with sales. Like, absolutely. I joined Money Bootcamp, which is a course by Denise Duffield Thomas. I've spoken about her heaps on my podcast, I'm sure. I love Denise. Anyway, yeah, so for the past 2 years, I've been working so much on my money mindset, and it has made a phenomenal impact on my business and just like my entire life in general. So yeah, I cannot speak highly enough about being confident in your pricing and, you know, having that money mindset. It's such an important thing, and I feel like it's really important to mention it here for witchy business owners, because often, you know, when we're spiritual or we're, you know, kind of witchy, we feel like, oh, you know, we shouldn't be charging for this. Like, you know, we don't want to charge too high because it may feel like it's unspiritual to be charging high prices for your work. But the truth is, whether you're spiritual or not, you are absolutely worth like your valuable time and your skills and your knowledge and, you know, everything that you put into your products or your services. So yeah, coming back to it, being confident and yeah, pricing confidently. Alrighty, next tip is building trust. Building trust. Oh my goodness, yes. This like really kind of ties into what I was just talking about, like with that pricing issue and how like those low prices can kind of make people have trust issues. Like often, and I don't know if this is like just a me thing. I like, if you resonate with this, let me know. But like often if I see something that's priced too low, I won't buy it because I'll be like, something's not right here. Why is this so cheap? There's like, you know, there's got to be a catch or something like that. Like, you know, there's often like, you know, something hidden that's not being completely transparent, or, you know, maybe it's a counterfeit or whatever. So yeah, building trust, you can build trust through so many ways. So building trust through like the confidence in your products, building trust through like connecting with other people and like, you know, showing your face on social media, or like sharing your story about why you created this product or why you started your business. So building trust is like really kind of like getting people to know you rather than just like constantly showing up and promoting your products all the time. It's about like getting people to understand like the, you know, behind the scenes, and getting to know more of who you are as a business owner. Like I can't tell you how many times I have like really just fallen in love with like, you know, different people on Instagram and stuff because they show up so authentically. And like, you know, sometimes their products, you know, they aren't necessarily something that I was, you know, looking for or really needed, but because like I really just love their vibe and, you know, they show up in like such an authentic way, it makes me trust them, and then, you know, I'll invest in them. And it may not be immediately. Sometimes, you know, I might be following them for a few years before I buy from them, but that trust is like, it's really important. So doing what you can to build trust is, yeah, absolutely essential. So whether that's, yeah, showing up, showing your face, showing photos of yourself or videos or whatever it is. But the other thing that you can build trust with is like, I guess the thing is with spirituality and like witchy businesses is that a lot of the time people who are not spiritual or not really witchy, they can be quite skeptical. And so building trust around tarot, like, maybe breaking down, like, this is how tarot works, this is how astrology works, this is how crystals work, or like, if you're using candles, this is how to do a candle spell, this is the results from my last candle spell, or some things like that, where you can like really demonstrate how your products or your services work and what are the results that customers can expect from buying your products or services. So building trust like that can be really helpful. And another thing that can help there is testimonials. Getting testimonials and feedback from your customers, and then sharing those testimonials on your website, on your social media, or wherever else. That also can be really powerful in terms of building trust. Okay, so one last point before we finish off for today. My last little tip for witchy business owners is to connect with the community. So there's a few ways that I have found to be quite effective with this personally. Probably the number one thing that really helped me with my witchy business was getting involved with my local community here in Tamworth, New South Wales. Hi, if you're listening and you're local. So here in Tamworth, I'm quite fortunate that it's, a kind of smallish country city. I don't know how it's a city. It's more like a town. But we have regular markets here, and it's not too expensive. I think it was like, I don't know, $10 or $15 for a stall each week, like pretty cheap. And so yeah, I was regularly going to markets every weekend, sometimes like even doing 2 markets in a weekend. And through showing up regularly in my local community, I did markets pretty consistently for about 6 months. I built up a really good following of local customers, and I stopped all that through COVID, and my business has kind of changed a bit now. I don't really sell the physical products much anymore, but I still have so many local people who contact me and who buy things from me because I did that work and I connected with my community, and I built relationships with people from going to markets and holding local events. Like I was also holding like my full moon circles and tarot workshops and that sort of thing. So I was, getting to work with people in real life. And so, yeah, when you're connecting with the community like that, that is a really powerful way to grow your business and to get known and to share your gifts with others in a really beautiful way. The other way that you can connect with the community is connecting with online communities. So that could be Facebook groups. There are some amazing Facebook groups. Like if you're a witchy business, then you could check out different handmade groups, depending on your area. Even local groups, like I love utilizing my local group if I'm, holding a local event or going to a local market or something like that. But yeah, connecting online with people can be a really powerful tool. And some of you may be aware, or you may not be aware, but I actually run a community page on Instagram and Facebook called Australian Witches. It's just Australian Witches. Just search for it. And that's, it's purely like a community page where me and my team of admins, we share other Aussie witchy businesses, and we promote them. And it's a really fun way that I've been able to connect with the community and kind of build our own little Aussie witch busy business owner community. And so that's been really amazing for not only growing my own business and, showing up in the witchy community, but it's been so fun to help promote other witchy business owners and to get to know other witchy business owners. The connections I've made through that community have just been incredible, the generosity and community that I felt through that has just really blown me away. It wasn't what I expected when I first started that page. So yeah, there's that option. If you're an Aussie witch, feel free to tag us at Australian Witches, and I'd love to feature your products or services on our page. So yeah, those are my tips for getting more sales in your witchy business. All these elements that I've talked about, like, you know, finding your ideal client and solving their problems, pricing confidently, building trust, and connecting with your community. These are all important pillars, and these are all generally things that are covered in the Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind. Some of these things we go into like quite in depth. The first module in the Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind is purely about finding your ideal client and really getting to know like their pain points and those problems that you can solve for them. So if you do want some guidance with this, be sure to check out that link in the show notes so that you can join a Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind. There are still a few places left, and I would love to have that filled out so that we can have a beautiful mastermind experience with some awesome witchy business owners. It is always so exciting to see the type of business owners that come into each round of the Soul Aligned Biz Mastermind. This is the third time I've run this program, so it's always an exciting time. So you could be next. Alrighty, so thanks so much for tuning into the Moon Manifesting podcast. I will see you all next week with a brand new episode. Bye for now.